Whoa. Alrighty. Morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, and things are busy at the Bishop Farm. Firstly, I got a bunch of guys here. They're gonna remodel my bathroom. That's terrible because I didn't want to spend the money on it. I'd have much rather spend the money on something else. But Tristan and Morgan are here, and they're here to help me with this. So you guys get to see my friends help me. Yay! But we're gonna pull these stalls apart, kind of, sort of, try to, and well, I'm just gonna see what we can do. I'll be back in a little while. No, don't be like, don't be extra. So we're retaining on the top one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna cut these clips and that motherfucker's just gonna.
Morgan.
Sir, we started with a dead battery.
Right inside the door. Actually, go to the reap. move all this trash out of the way real fast, I can actually just run the mower. Alright, so I am starting to notice that there are railroad ties out here. So let's like keep an eye out for them. I don't want to hit one of them with my. Yeah. That's not going to be a good time. Found some railroad ties, right? That's pretty cool. How does it look? You can see we're trucking right on along. Tristan's already made it to the second junction. I've cut the clips that hold the upright to the chain link. Oh, we're getting it. Hey Al, don't forget we have that like water pipe connection that sticks to the chain link. Yeah. Don't bash your knee on it or nothing.
Alright, good to know.
It's right by you if you look down. Yep. That some bitch will hurt like a damn trailer hitch, I'm sure.
Try to grab that board on the bottom and pull like a hoe or something.
There may be one in there. There's at least a hard rate.
That's right, there's more hanging up in the middle.
Also, don't forget we have like a 2.5 foot Craftsman pry bar in there.
Yeah, watch the leg.
Oh, you're gonna use the bush off.
Margaret, watch the leg. Hang on, that damn minute.
You're about to watch a bunch of dumb people doing dumb shit.
Oh, I had them in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, there's something growing out the end of it. Doesn't it look like a horse battle axe?
Yes, that's exactly what the hell it looks like.
That is called a bush axe. That's the literal name for it. Bush axe.
Well, we are axing through the bush. You must stash it for later.
Ah, the moustache. I like it. That's so good. They're good funnies.
You got any, like, dirty rags?
You got any fuck my ass? I don't know. No. That's a weird orange,
That's a weird looking vine. Ryan, hammer, since you're at the barn there, bud?
Huh?
Hammer?
What kind? MC.
Medium.
MC variety.
The ICP? The iCup hammer?
Oh, you ate one too? Who was it that you ate one too for their fucking album cover? Was it was it Skinner? Was it I was gonna say we probably got some kind of shit at the bottom.
No, I've already pulled a lot of it up.
Look at that. That motherfucker's hollow. Hey, whoa, hold on, Tristan, stop the extension cord. God damn it.
What is it?
I don't know.
B?
Fuck off.
Carpenter B?
Pain in the ass beat. You want it again?
You don't realize how long his hair is. Where'd he go?
I pissed him off because that block that I just shuffled the of on the ground is probably their spot.
Oh, this is his victim of it.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. My hair is really fucking long. I keep that shit up so it stays out of my way.
I'm checking for danger too.
There absolutely is a black snake that specifically hangs out in this spot. Motherfucker is all about it.
That's just a whole lot of bullshit over here.
Yeah, we're not going that far.
What, is it literally just through here? I
Yeah,
thought we were
so
doing the whole fucking dog pit today.
we're going.
That's what I thought too when I came over.
You got me this beer drinking time today?
You can get some, yeah. Catching on that fucking
Hang on. Where'd the... Up here. There's that main line right there on the quarter.
hang on.
Hey, this is my leg you're about to tear up. Alright, go ahead. Thank you for not.
I never went and got no wasp spray. I'm gonna die!
Oh shit, yeah. You are,
That depends on the center console. But
okay.
if I get hit,
Does
please
it go in
don't
your
freak
ass
out.
or your thigh?
Huh?
Where does the EpiPen go? Right in the front, right on the...
Goes in the
Look,
side.
Okay.
Side of the side.
if I get hit, we're just gonna calmly hop in the truck, start headed for the hospital.
I'm not taking you
If I have a reaction at that point, then stab me.
I'm not taking you to the hospital. I'm taking you right there to the fire safety. They've got all the shit to handle every single kind of fucking.
I'm not paying that bill.
What are you talking about, Bill?
Who's gonna pay that bill?
You don't pay a bill to them unless you ride in their ambulance. You're not riding in the ambulance. I'm just like, hey, he got somebody that might be allergic. Can you guys hang out with us?
All they're
for a
gonna
If
second?
they
do is
administer an
administer my EpiPen and then fucking carry my ass to the hospital.
If
Trust
they
me, I've.
don't charge for any of their supplies, but if they're administrating your own, it should be alright. It'd be
I
nice.
have insurance.
I did. I'm sorry.
Carry my ass to the hospital.
Oh, you're in the video too, by the way. Yeah, you just walked. No, it's behind you.
Ass shot.
Poke it out, nigger. Go show the world. Yeah, I think so. Isn't it?
You know, grind it up and smoke it.
Get cushion.
I had a carpenter be
Yeah, we
actually
probably
flying
did.
in.
That's what I'm looking
Yeah.
at.
Like Batman got stuck in lots and I'm sitting here like this and it won't come out. And Uncle Morgan had to take it off on me. The worst thing was that he kept crying. He kept coming after me. So I ended up hitting him with the fucking hat.
Watch for red ants.
That's what you mean.
I was gonna ask, would you be
Roll
willing to just run the Dollar General and grab a couple of things to wash the spray?
Fairly old.
Hey, hey, there's a one time today drink request run.
I am A-OK. I can't drink today.
No, not alcohol. Like she's going to the store. Do you want a soda? Do you want a water? A fucking Gatorade? Do you want
I think I'll be alright.
like a literal drink? Not alcohol.
There's water in the fridge, but like anything else, I just don't.
No, I'll be alright.
Oh, you cool.
Yeah, if you got bottle of water in here. Yeah.
I guess. Red Bull and a can you get a Gatorade too? Yeah.
There's wildlife in this motherfucker. It ain't gonna have it.
Cool Blue or fruit punch. Thank you, baby.
I love you.
Love you too.
Where's the whoppers at?
Hey, I brought a hatchet back out so that you can kind of like bite into the different logs and stuff and roll them. Give me just a second though. I gotta reset my fucking hair.
Where do you
railroad tie. It's that fucking horseshoe pit right there. Right
The one next to the pond?
No, the one with the liner.
Look at this.
Yeah, we're burning it. So everything just goes there. Be careful though, there is for sure a wasp nest over there. So before we start piling shit over there, let her come back with that spray
Yeah.
so that I can piss them off myself.
That bee is pissed.
Isn't he?
You want me to go bring my little runaround trailer over here, back it up right here, and less of a walk? We can throw the shit right in it and then move it over there? Up to you.
Motherfucker, that is way lazier than I give a shit to be. It is.
That's almost more work because now you're double handling
It's
it.
40 feet, my guy. I understand that you flatbed for a living, but come on. My dude's like,
It goes on the
trailer and off the trailer.
Hey, I just realized that run in there goes deeper than just this hole.
Yeah.
Where this is 16 foot. That might actually be a 20-foot run. And we gotta get the fucking. You still got a push mower?
No,
The
I think-
Husqvarna one?
It's around here somewhere, but it quit running a long. It's up under there. It quit running a long time ago. So my thought process for that, honestly, if we go grab that big giant fucking plywood piece,
Oh, just lay it on it.
it's right there. It's got a little bit of some 2x4 in frame up inside of the breezeway right there. That some bitch is heavy. So we just get up on the edge of it, smush it down into it, and crush a little, and then just push everything down, and then just work off.
Roughly a couple gallons of that diesel oil.
Just be careful, all them fucking bugs. I swear to God, asshole. You are flirting with a really bad day, sir. Let's get my fucking dustpan. I'll find my dustpan. I got this. I know what we're doing.
Hold on, Morgan. Hold on. Stay there.
Hey, listen. Again, giant wasp nest in the fucking. Don't throw shit on it yet.
Here, Morgan, we'll be okay. I can run away
All right. Now listen, when I put the pool on it,
My thought was to just go catty corner. Oh.
that's what I moved over this way for.
His glasses are going to be clean there.
Using that's a good idea. I don't feel like digging that piece of shit out.
Digging what out?
Another piece of plywood.
It won't be much of a dig.
Don't nobody ask me to look for anything small. My glasses are off.
Morgan, you see that screw that fell?
Might have to help the piece. A nice reusable piece of lumber. I'm going to set some nice wood up against the barn. Fuck off. Land, bitch.
Kristen,
This plant in here is called Virginia Creeper.
Need help. Where are we going?
That ivy right inside the door, the 5-leaf,
called Virginia Creek.
Going here?
They all started to come out the
Where
woodwork.
exactly?
Where I laid that first piece of plywood.
Well, the problem is Morgan's so heavy, he's gonna go through that fucking box and he steps.
I already did.
Yep. I ain't stepping on it. I can see it from here without my glasses. I'm standing in ant nest, so well, no, come on out.
Oh, we need to dilute.
I am officially done. He has reached fuck this shit plus one.
I think they're just around right there.
Or at least put it on pause. He's got a pause.
Alrighty, we're back. I got attacked by bees, things escalated, and then I retaliated. And this was my answer. Yes, we done. So, digger bees, carpenter bees, I stirred them all up, and them bitches were mad at me.
Spell that so you don't get banned from YouTube.
I don't care. Somebody wants to be dumb over a bee's name, they can kiss my dickhole. I ain't worried about that shit. I've had a rough morning, and everybody can fucking eat me. Except my lovely viewers, you guys are awesome. Oh, goodness, though. So we probably killed like 1,400 carpenter bees this morning. We've only made it into the first bay. I imagine we're going to end up with an equally similar fight. But we're gonna keep on trucking. We'll be back later. And then just like that, we got some Chevy power in the yard. Hell yeah. She got a 400 punched out 30 over. Got her a nice little cam in it, 3/4 ton. I think it's the 6 lug. Yeah, 6 lug. Front and rear. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, 4 in the floor. Got a nice little seat in it. Boy. Randy and Randy, this is for you two boys. Just so we know, y'all aren't my only friends with Chevrolets. Oh, dang. Well, hello, everybody. So, I haven't done any recording in over a week. And... oh, will you stay? Probably not for long. As soon as the wind blows, it'll fall back down. I'm probably just going to have to do something about that. Try to go get some more of them loop nails and just tack it up a couple times on the 2x4, 6, whatever that is. And then I'll just string it up and do the same thing. Just span the gap, pull it kind of tight. Anyway, as you'll notice, we did a little bit of leveling out that day, but I haven't really touched it in a week. Let's go ahead and swing this out. So I don't actually want to take the gate down because this gate is actually for this stall. It used to have a little fixture here that would hook around it, but anyway, we started to level this out a little bit. We're going to leave these logs going long ways along the wall because it's really hard for me to show this to you. I can't really hold the phone very straight, but if you look, you can kind of see that there's a little bit of a bow to that wall, especially considering that pole is mostly straight. It's got a little tilt at the base, but it's like you can see the bend, whereas this one's straight next to it. Well, I'm probably going to be fighting with bugs the whole time I'm over here talking to you guys, but whatever. the point is, I want to leave those there. I believe that if I start tearing those out, what's going to happen is what structure the wall has at the base of itself is going to go away, and the barn may start to shift. And I really don't want to cause a whole system to collapse. So I'm going to leave all these uprights. Every one of them is going to stay. Of course, I'm still going to continue through. There's 2 more sections of chain link to try and cut away to be able to go through all the way across. I don't see any more of the holes opened back up. There were some definite ground beat issues. As y'all saw just a little bit ago, I ran off being stung. Now, mind you, that was a week ago for me, but that was just a couple seconds ago for y'all. I'm not allergic to bees or anything, so it didn't actually do that much damage. It just hurt like hell, caused a little bit of swelling. One of them got me in the ear. That hurt more than anything. Oh, God. Taking one to the fucking side of the head, that sucked. But basically, I started spraying all this a couple of days ago. I'm just kind of trying to see what dies off. You see I'm getting a little bit of brownage there. I'm definitely getting some dye off there all along here. I sprayed over here for the tall stuff. I don't really know what is actually going to die over here. I think this root ball here, so I'm generically using vegetation killer. So anything green theoretically should die. So eventually all of this stuff, because I got a pretty good spray off into it. A lot of this stuff should die. And as it does, I'm going to start pulling these ties that go long ways, especially these 2. All this stuff's going to come out of here. And then I'm going to come back over here with the water hose. I'm going to re-wet all of this down. And then I'm going to eventually basically smooth it back out. I'm going to get it muddy and wet and try to break it up a little bit, because this stuff's dry. It's hard packed. It's not... Like, you'd have to come in here with a pickaxe and a sledgehammer to mess with this mud or dirt or whatever you want to call it. I don't really feel like doing all that, so I'll do what I did here, wet it down real good, and as we're fucking with stuff, it'll kind of just work itself out. I spray it all up in there. There's not a lot of sunlight coming under here, and I don't know, who knows how most of these poisons actually work when it comes to killing plants and stuff. For example, if you cut your grass and you edge really good and then you go back and spray, there's a good chance that your grass, because it's been damaged by you cutting it, it'll actually close all of its pores. And then the next, time it gets wet, most of that poison just kind of washes off into the ground. If you spray enough, it'll affect the root ball and all that, and that'll kill everything from the root up really quickly. But most of the idea is, you want to do a lot of your spraying before the heat of the day comes out, because what's going to happen is, as the sun comes up, plants use the sun's rays for photosynthesis to create their own food. Basics of science. I know everybody watching should know this, but it just kind of is what it is if you don't, because you might be 8 years old coming across this page, which if you are, don't listen to my cursing. Do not start cursing. That's bad. I'm old, so I do what I want. When you get old, you can do what you want. But anyway, all this stuff up in here is starting to die and thin out really good. Basically, I came out here at like 7:30, about the time I'm out here now, when everything was still kind of wet. And I just kind of started spraying off and up and into everything, and you can see it's all definitely starting to die off, which I'm super thankful to see. I really didn't want this to turn into that big of a fight. And I also came down here, I sprayed a bunch of stuff into the fence. You can see I've gotten some of that stuff in there, starting to die off a little bit too. It's starting to thin out in the bottom. I don't know if this tree setup here is going to die. I hope it does, but if it doesn't, it's kind of whatever. I'll just cut it down. It is what it is. The idea here is I am going to have to for sure do something about all this stuff, because I can't really have that. But I want to leave this wall of fence intact. Basically, I'm trying to preserve this fenced in section here. And so I'm going to leave this whole wall so that I can keep it separated. But basically, the chain link that runs up underneath of the lean-to, eventually I want to come all the way back and pull all of those railroad ties out, pull all of those sections of chain link out, and I want to completely open up all the way back to this post here. Now, all these gates are going to stay here just because I don't really have any other way to do anything about it, and I'm not trying to do much of anything. But the point is, once all this chain link comes out, once all this shit dies down and I can get help again to get everybody coming over here and snatching on this stuff with me, we'll actually be in better shape in the long end, mostly just because the chain link is what's allowed everything to get up so high. The chain link is what stopped me from getting in here with the lawnmower and simply just maintaining it. All my problems basically go away once all this chain link's out. And you see, we still got the section here. Now, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it. This is something that I'm going to probably need some help with one day if anybody's local to me and wants to come burn a few hours doing absolutely nothing. But this upright, or I mean this horizontal, this long run, I have that one there, and then I stuffed one up on the roof. I basically need to find straight sections of all of these uprights so that I can try and make legs. I want to try and make 9 or 10 foot legs, and the idea here is I have this massive gate section that I've shown in a couple of videos beforehand. I know I've talked about it once or twice. Oh, cool deal. Tristan left the hitch like he was meant to. Thanks, buddy. Not that I didn't think you wouldn't. You know just as well as I do, if I use that trailer, I need it. But basically, this bad boy right here is something like 20 foot long from end to end. It's only like 10 foot across, so it's not that perfect 12 by 20 that you're looking for. But most of the cars that I would drive up underneath of this are going to end up being 7 foot wide, 7 foot and a couple of inches wide. So theoretically, with the fact that I'm only going to put legs on the 4 corners, I'm not actually going to do any center bracing just because it's its own massive big ass frame. I'm going to put a tarp on it. And so I'm pretty sure this thing should be able to withstand the weight of itself sitting on its side without just crumbling and collapsing. But ultimately, once it's got all 4 legs on it, I'm going to get my neighbor with a crane truck to come flip it over for me. And we're going to set it over on the pad. And then I've got a really thick vinyl tarp. Since we're already over here, I'll go ahead and show you. I sprayed back here again. I know I told y'all I need to spray. Well, I sprayed. I sprayed everything I could reach. Because that big gate section's out, I could get in here a little bit better and started opening this up. Once upon a time, I could get all the way around this, and it really wasn't a big deal. And that Passat back there, I actually need to move it further out so that I can also just get around it. My big problem with having to move all this stuff is that I can't get in between things. If I could get in between things like this car, I don't give a shit if this thing sits here for a while. I don't care if the Beetle sits there for a while because I can move all the way around it. Do I want it to be out in the open in eyesight? No, not really. But can I help it at the moment? No, not really. Anyway, all this was a big, nice, green, lusciously growing thing before. It is not anymore. I sprayed into here a bunch too. I'm, again, just kind of waiting for it to die off and do its thing. You can see some of that green over there. I missed a little bit. I couldn't quite reach from here. Because I've got the dog in the house, once I get out here and I start spraying the ground, I try really hard not to be in the overspray. And I try really hard not to walk through it. Just because I don't want to track it in the house. I don't want her to like go chewing on a shoe. Or weirdly, our cats are retarded. So they like to lay on our shoes and like nuzzle their faces into them while they're warm right after we take them off our feet. I don't understand what the fetish is, but they're cats, so naturally, you're aware, I can't just ask them and be like, "Hey, Jim, Mr. Toulouse, what are you doing, little buddy? Is there a reason you like feet so much? Can I help you with your feet?" Anyway, spray it all across the front and everything. I'm glad to see a lot of this stuff dying off, just because there was no way I was going to make it up in here with the mower. You see all the junk on the ground. There's so much stuff that I actually just actively need to clean up. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in last week's recording for this video, but all this shit is going to go on this pile here, and I'm actually going to build this out a little bit. There's a bunch of plastic geese. This used to be a horseshoe pit setup. The posts are still there, but nobody plays horseshoe nowadays, and none of my friends, I don't really care to get good and don't want to play, and it's just... Anyway, we're going to burn this bitch down sometime when it starts getting a little colder. All the wood, all the seats, all the shit that I need to strip, I'm just going to throw it in this pile, and then we're going to burn it down later. We're going to probably a few weeks into the fall, once we've like for sure got some cold weather or cool weather. I don't want it to be frigid outside, but I got the pump house right there, so I'm pretty sure I can reach from there to here, and oh man, I don't really think I'm going to have that much of an issue, just because I'm going to try and keep piling it onto that pit. But basically, once I burn it down, hopefully the railroad ties will smolder for a few days and burn themselves down slowly, and then I can just kind of rake and drag that flat. And if I can't, whatever I need to take and remove from there, I can bring over here, and I can lay it down in the floor and fill in holes and stuff to make my life a little easier. The idea here, and Tristan pointed it out to me, I hadn't really been thinking about it. I need to make sure that whatever I do under here, it runs the water out of itself. It's not going to be a good thing if water starts pooling in here real bad and it starts slogging out everything further underneath the building. I'm not trying to go for that. It's obviously not like removing a chain link section is all of a sudden going to make it run up under there. But me going through and potentially changing the orientation of the dirt and filling in holes and stuff and just kind of smoothing it out might. So once these ties here get to come out, which... the Gator's not running right now. I don't know why. It's definitely for sure getting fuel. I almost feel like the carburetor float is stuck open or something, because it smells like it's drowning in fuel within a couple of cranks. So I think I'm going to pull the plugs out of it, and I'm going to try and clean them up real good. I put plugs in this thing last summer, and I've only driven the freaking thing like 14 good times. I think I've only put like 20 hours on it total time, and most of that's been, you know, just running around the backyard for a quick rip or something. I haven't even really, and that might be part of it, me not utilizing this thing enough. I actually wanted to outfit this, since these things have a little over 800 pounds of capacity for the rear. If I pull the bed off and make a couple of mounting feet up for it, I can put my engine hoist on the Gator frame, and then I could just back the Gator up over top of a car. And then I could just lift an engine and transmission combo up and out of the car right then and there. And then I drive the Gator over here, back it underneath of one of these, hook it to an engine stand, and bam, we're getting places. Specifically, that gray Jetta that's on the other back side of the barn, I think you can kind of see the back end of it poking out up there. Yeah. So, anyway, I know I haven't uploaded any videos in it's actually been about 2 weeks now. I'm going to be really honest with you. Between just how ridiculously hot it has been the last couple of weeks, we had a hell of a heat wave down here in the south. I'm in northeast North Carolina, but we were even being within an hour and a half of the ocean, we didn't get very much relief from that. We had 98% humidity most of those days. It was 94 to 100 degrees flat on the thermometer, and so we were dealing with heat indexes as high as 112 and 114 out here. And I'm going to be really honest with you. At those temperatures, since my surgery and having my lymph node removed and having things work a little less good than what they're supposed to, I cannot tolerate the heat anywhere near as much as I used to. And I believe, honestly, as I get better as I get further through my recovery and as I get away from all of the cancer treatments and everything, I believe my life will smooth out a little and I'll be able to get back to 100% normal. But at the moment, I come out here and that heat hits me, and I have a bad habit of pushing through things and ignoring things, and at the end of the day, that does me a real disservice because I end up hurting myself, and not for any real reason. Yesterday, for example, it was, today's Friday, so Thursday, I cut grass all day. You see, it's nice and fresh cut, looks pretty damn good. Well, I started cutting a little late because the yard was pretty wet, and I had to go to the store and fill up a fuel jug and stuff, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, long story short, I end up spending 5 hours out here in the sun, just being beat to death. And when I came back into the house right around 2 o'clock, I knew I felt bad, but I didn't know how bad I felt until I sat down. And then my world started spinning. I felt like I wanted to throw up. I went and sat in the bathroom for a couple of seconds just in case, and thankfully I managed to tough it out and didn't have to. But like, the point is, I'm not handling things as well as I used to, and it's just kind of a fact of life. I'm 35. I'm not old by any standard. I'm not middle-aged yet, but considering I've not done anything most of my life to take care of myself and all this, that, and the other, the surgery hurt me a lot more than I really thought it would. Just as a day-to-day, being able to operate and function and not have so much going on to feel bad, right? Like, obviously, we all deal with aches and pains. Being a mechanic, your back always hurts. You're always hunched over stuff. It is what it is. It's just parts of the job, the trade, but there's a real difference between being able to be in the heat for 10 hours before you start feeling bad. And this is while being hydrated. Like, I'm out here killing bottles of water. I'm, slipping a little bit of Gatorade in there, here and there, just to try and keep the electrolytes up. Like, obviously, Gatorade's not good for you if you're not actively sweating. And I'm not saying you should drink 1-to-1 Gatorade with your sweat. What you should do, in my opinion, is like a one 20-ounce bottle of Gatorade to like 3 16-ounce bottles of water. That should be about your ratio. Every time you kill one of those 16-ounce bottles of water, you should take that Gatorade and you should take 2 or 3 good swigs of it, and then you should put it back in the ice chest or the cooler or whatever you're holding on to and keep that bad boy cold. Kill another bottle of water, take another few sips, and you just kind of repeat that. And from what I'm to understand from most doctors, they appreciate that kind of candor, because if you think about it, not only does Gatorade have an entire just metric assload of sugar in it, but it does have salts and stuff. And if you drink something with too many salts in it, too many of those electrolytes as they call them, you ultimately dry yourself out and you defeat the purpose of what you're doing. So drink plenty of water, couple sips of Gatorade. Drink plenty of water, couple sips of Gatorade. Anyway, now that I'm done with my rant, I really don't have a whole lot going on. I wanted to just kind of tie the rest of this video together because I realize it's not going to be an easy endeavor to get everybody back together like I had last weekend. So right now I'm kind of at the mercy of everything dying off, because there's a lot of the stuff in there like poison ivy and oak that I can't get on me because I'm highly allergic to it, and it'll take me weeks to get rid of it instead of just days. So if anybody's local, Northeast North Carolina, Southeast Virginia, and you want to get around some car guys for a day or so, holler at your boy. I will absolutely do what I can to coordinate and have like a little mini car meet in the yard and have everybody bring out something cool that we can park up in the field over there on the back side of the barn. But oh yeah, basically, thanks for sticking around. Thank you everybody who's reached out and asked me if I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I just, between the heat being so oppressive and just not having the parts I need or want to get after certain projects yet, I just, there's not been a lot for me to film. And you know, I don't have many ambitions of getting monetized. I would like to get monetized at some point. It'd be great if we managed to get there this year, but let's be honest, I still need over 100 more subscribers, and I need at least 2,000 more watch hours. Like, I don't think I'm going to make that in the next 5 months. So, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like. Feel free to reach out and ask any questions. If you saw anything in the background you want to know, if you've seen something I've done that you're curious about, feel free. Reach out. I'm an easy guy to talk to, and I'm all too happy to interact with folks who are, trying to learn something. I'm not teaching a whole lot with my vlog videos, but if you look back in, prior posts on my page, I have a lot of how-to stuff. And that was where I came from. I wanted to make how-to videos on these cars because nobody was really doing the repair stuff that I wanted to do. All of the people that I've seen do a lot of Volkswagen content, they have great information. They have great breakdowns. They have awesome, almost documentary level type of content. But at the end of the day, other than people like, Thomas, EXO-VCDS, there's not a lot of just flat out repair videos. You can't really Google B3 Passat sedan ignition switch job. You won't find it. At least if somebody uploaded it at some point in the past, that person quit interacting with their channel long enough that YouTube ultimately got rid of them, because I can't find most of the repair videos for a lot of these cars anymore. And so that's where I came from. Like, when I started this channel, the whole idea was I wanted to make Mark III content as far as the repairs went. Stuff that I did at the dealership, stuff that kind of, just came along, common problems, jobs that I've done 1,000 times, but the average amateur might genuinely struggle with. Well, I've been doing this for 20 almost years. So it's like, sure, let me, well, at the time it wasn't quite 20 years, but you get the idea. I know a lot about what I've done with my cars in the past, and so I wanted to share that insight here and there, and I wanted to share some of the insight of my tech life and show people that they could do this stuff, Basically, that's honestly why I do things the way I do them with hand tools more times than not, because yeah, I'm really aware that I can put an impact gun on a particular fastener, and I can send that bitch home and it won't come out. But I also know that I can break that bolt off, and I can have cross-threading issues. I can have all kinds of crazy shit happen. And that's the thing. Being a mechanic, or at least being an enthusiast for your own car, a lot of that's not really being a mechanic or even necessarily being all that mechanically inclined or experienced. It's all about damage mitigation. How many things can you yourself manage to take apart without breaking something? This car, for example, it's a 94. Thank the Lord, or whoever you believe in, that owners of this car in the past liked the car, took care of the car. Yeah, she's got a few issues. Yeah, she was dirty as hell. Yes, she has some rust. But all in all, everybody that's owned this car before me, they liked it. They cared about it. They took as good a care for it as what they could. I'm okay with that. That means working on this thing's been pretty easy. Stuff's come apart. Nothing's been crazy seized in. It's not seen like crazy salty roads its entire life. The inner wheel wells are all clean. Got a little bit of rust here and there in certain places. But like, what are you going to do? But the point is, you can't find videos for this stuff. So that's where I came in. And I've had a lot of fun doing this. And I've also had a lot of fun, turning around and doing vlogs and stuff. But I just want to remind everybody, like, I'm not necessarily in this to try and do it every day. I'm not, even though I was uploading every day and then switched to every other day, the whole long and short of it is I have this entire property to deal with. And on most days, I can't get to car stuff. As much as I might want to, you might see things move around the yard here and there periodically, but that's because I'm shuffling things around to cut grass. It took me 5.5 hours to do what I did yesterday. And the bad part is you can see just right through the clearing, that's all grown up 3.5 foot tall. So that's like, I got to a point where I can't mess with some of the stuff that's in there because there's ruts over there that are so deep that the mower just can't handle it. So I have to wait for it to get that tall, and then I can use the Ford. It's such a struggle sometimes. And then you see I did a bunch of the weed eating around most of the pond. Well, that's the stuff I couldn't really get into because of how thick and dense it was, and I just couldn't get onto the bank for it. I came around a good ways, but I didn't want to be down in the water to cut that stuff right there next to that downed pole, and that's another thing I need to do. That downed pole needs to come back up. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you like, tell me what you didn't like. Thank you for hearing my ramble and rant. Look forward to me complaining about John Deere later. Oh, I'm planning on doing a video, an actual review video. I don't do them very often, and it's mostly because I try to buy products that don't need reviews, in the sense that when I buy it, it worked, it was exactly what it was advertised to be, and that's it. So I don't do videos. If I use a tool, I may say something about that tool, but most of the time it's not a good thing if I'm doing a review. So if you want to hear me bitch about something and genuinely complain and just kind of be unbridled about it, when you see the John Deere title pop up on my page, tune in, because I'm just gonna kind of let that thing have it. It is not going to be kid friendly. It is not going to be something that anybody's going to want to see. But I hope and pray that somebody somewhere shows this video to John Deere's executives so that they can understand that I know what they're fucking doing, and I ain't here for it. And I am beyond ecstatic that I've only had to put $300 into that mower, period. I'm not the one that bought it, so I'm not the one that lost the money on it, and I'm not the one that has that multiple $1,000 amount tied up into it. But I've had to deal with all the repairs, and my God, there's been a bunch of them. So stick around for that one. We'll be uploading that one hopefully by the end of this week. But anyway, see y'all next time.